Joha and the Genie. Joha was a fisherman who lived with his wife and 3 boys in a little shack right by the beach. Every morning at dawn, he'd head down to the shore and toss his nets into the ocean. Come evening, he'd trudge back home with his basket stuffed full of fish. Some went to feed his family, and the rest he sold at the market in the nearest town. The money he made kept the basics covered. Nothing fancy, but it worked. Even though he was dirt poor, Joha was a happy guy. But then things got rough for a spell. For days on end, he'd fling his nets up and down the beach, and not a single fish would bite. It was like the sea had gone bone dry of life. One morning, he just couldn't take it anymore. He chucked his gear on the sand, dropped to his knees, threw his arms up to the sky, and hollered, "Lord, you're all goodness and justice. Have mercy on me, poor old Joha. It's been over a week now, and I'm coming home with an empty basket every night. My wife's starving, and so are my kids. Please, God, make the fishing good today." When he finished praying, Joha got up, tossed his net into the water, and waited a few minutes. When he hauled it in, it was so dang heavy he had to strain with all his might. The second he saw what was inside, he let out a whoop of surprise. Fish of every size and color were flopping around in the open air. His eyes welled up, and he looked heavenward, yelling, "Thanks, Lord, for this miracle you pulled off. With your help, my family's gonna eat good for the whole week." Without wasting a beat, he started filling his basket, one fish after another. But right in the middle of it, he froze. There, tangled in the net, was an old bottle all crusted over with seaweed. Joha grabbed it and turned it over in his hands, muttering to himself, "Weird, looks like this thing's been down there forever from all that gunk. Am I the lucky fool who found it?" As he checked it out closer, he spotted some fancy etchings on the glass, and the cork was sealed tight with wax. A grin crept across his face. "No doubt about it, this baby's got something valuable inside. I'll hightail it to the Sultan right now. Maybe he'll reward me for turning it in." He was about to head off when curiosity got the better of him. He gave the bottle a shake, trying to guess what was in there. Nothing. So he pulled out his knife and pried off the cork. Whoosh! A thick cloud of white smoke poured out, billowing up into the sky. Joha started shaking like a leaf. He dropped the bottle and clapped his face over his ears. Then a booming laugh made him peek through his fingers. Towering over him was a massive genie, all wavy smoke, arms crossed over his chest, eyes glowing like hot coals. Joha figured his number was up and hit the deck, too scared to even twitch. The genie snarled, "You pitiful human, say your last prayers, you're done for." Joha scraped together some guts and stammered, "Oh, mighty genie, why do I gotta die? Didn't I just set you free from this bottle?" "That ain't reason enough to let you live," the genie shot back. But after a pause, he added, "Fine, out of the goodness of my heart, I'll grant you one favor." Joha felt a spark of hope. Maybe this guy's not as mean as he looks. The genie went on, "But first, tell me how you got that cork off." Joha spilled the whole story, then clammed up, waiting for the verdict. "Got it," the genie said. "About that favor, out of my kindness, you get to pick how you bite the dust." Joha felt the world crash down, but he kept his cool and replied, "Thanks for the big old favor, mighty genie. I'll let you know my pick in a sec. But first, can I ask you something?" "Shoot." "I'd like to know why you was stuck in that bottle." The genie eyed him, then shrugged. "Fair enough. Any man facing death deserves the tale. Park yourself on that rock and listen up." Joha did as told. After a beat of silence, the genie launched into it. First off, name's Bilal. Way back when, I lived in a cave smack in the middle of the Arabian desert. This was ages ago, when all us genies decided to bow down to King Solomon, son of David. They all showed up and knelt at his feet, swearing loyalty, but a few of us rebels held out, including me. To scare us straight, Solomon sicked his genie captain Asaph on us. He rounded us up and dragged us to the throne. When we got there, my buddies caved right away out of fear and pledged allegiance. I was the only holdout. To punish me, Solomon told Asaph to cram me in this bottle and chuck it in the sea. He did it on the spot. Joha, you hanging on to every word? Okay, in my first century locked up, I vowed to grant a wish to whoever freed me. That century passed, no takers. Next one, I promised to shower 'em with gold. Zilch, stayed trapped. Third century, I swore to spill the secret to true happiness. Still nothing. Finally, I got so steamed, I oath-bound myself to kill the first fool who let me out. That's why you're toast now. Clear? Joha didn't lose his nerve. Mighty genie, if you off me, you're dooming my wife and kids too. I'm the only breadwinner. You think they deserve that, especially since you don't even know 'em? Don't test my patience, you worm. Pick your poison quick, or I'll choose for you. Joha shut his eyes, picturing his family's sad faces, and thought, gotta find a way out, no matter what. Holding back tears, he said to himself, I'll play this smart. So, what's your death wish? The genie roared. Up to you, but in return, one last question. You dumb dying sap, the end I got planned is gonna be brutal, but sure, if it tickles you, fire away. What? How did you giants squeeze into such a tiny bottle? What a goofy question. Forgot I'm all powerful? I can shapeshift to whatever I want. Sounds flat out impossible, Joha said, cool as ice. You doubting my powers? The genie bellowed. Next thing, he swirled back into smoke and vanished into the bottle. From inside, he hollered, There, happy now? What have you got to say? Joha didn't say a word. He snatched the cork off the sand and jammed it in as tight as he could. You're trapped now. Too bad. You're mine, and I ain't letting you out, ever. The genie wailed from inside. Joha, open up. That was just a joke. I wasn't gonna hurt you. I was testing your guts. You're a lying snake. I ain't risking it. Joha, you kind soul, please let me out and I'll make you the richest man alive. I ain't that crazy to buy it, and I won't just seal you. I'm tossing this thing back in the ocean. Any poor fisherman who hauls it up, I'll tell him to chuck it right back where it came from. No, don't. But Joha had tuned him out. He wound up good and flung the bottle as far as his arm could send it, splashing into the deep blue sea.